Subscribe to my YouTube channel and click the bell icon for the latest film interviews, features, and recommendations on the movies that matter.
Manisha Koirala, so good to see you. It's always lovely to see you.
Thank you, Rajeev. It's great seeing you.
Thank you. We're finally doing this. It's funny. I want to tell everyone the backstory because you're not great with technology. I am slightly better than you. I just have a lead of maybe few weeks before you. I started. So we've been trying to do this on Skype. I love what you sent me a message when I first told you we have to do this on Skype. You told me the last time you used Skype was when Dibakar narrated the script of Lust Stories to you while you were in Nepal. So
Yes.
That was the last time. What was that like? I mean, a whole narration over Skype.
My brother was there. He's a tech savvy kid in the family, so he organized everything.
Okay.
And so for that was actually fine. But narration was very new. I mean, obviously, nobody's kind of used to like this kind of a narration. But then I was in Nepal, and it went off well. I mean, it was a little odd, but we didn't have any other option
to do it. Correct. Now, Manisha, how are you holding up in these times? We are, of course, in a state of lockdown.
Yeah.
How are you holding up? What is the last week been like?
It's been pretty crazy, and I'm sure it's with everyone. And thing is, coming from the health history that I had, and then I have my parents who are 70 plus with me. Yeah. So the added responsibility, and so we've been on and sometimes in the family I get too full of anxiety. Sometimes my parent too. So it's been pretty tough for us.
Right.
But by the grace of God, we have few family friends and who are doctors. Correct. And so consistently I've been asking, what are the signs and symptoms? And if you cough, you feel have an anxiety. If you have little fever, and fever could not because of the virus, it could be because I sat on the sun for too long, so my body was hot. It feels feverish. I mean, we went through as a family, and especially me because I'm a worrier and not a worry. This thing I tend to worry a lot.
Okay.
So I guess it was pretty tough.
You're being too harsh on yourself. You said you're not a warrior. The truth actually is that you are. It's no secret. It's no secret. I mean, everyone knows, and you've spoken about the fact that you were, of course, diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 2012. You were in treatment in the United States. You fought that. You came out stronger. You wrote this wonderful book called Healed 2 years ago, which I have to say is so personal. You're not, you go to some pretty uncomfortable places. You're very vulnerable in the book. You reveal your fears, your struggles. I think it's very, very personal and very helpful for anyone, certainly who's going through that experience, but even for the ordinary reader, because it really empowers you into believing that if you will it, and if you have the external support, that one can actually fight it like you have. So when you say you're not a warrior, I'm not buying that. I get that you're a warrior also, but you're also a warrior. But Manisha, what I want to ask you is, when one has gone through that kind of experience, you understand. When today we're talking about immunity, we're talking about the being careful about immunity, having high immunity. This is something you've been through.
Basically, Rajeev, having that kind of an experience, it just reminded me of how helpless we all are.
Yeah.
And we just have to do the right thing and wait for the time, And during my cancer treatment also, it was, I mean, nothing was in my control. I consistently did what doctors told me to do diligently.
Right.
And I lived through the fear, so much intense fear situation. So probably this also makes me fearful.
Yeah.
But also it reminds me that one step at a time, one day at a time.
Right.
As and when it is over, it will be over. But for now, we have to do the right thing now, for today.
Right.
So it reminds me of that. So it somehow I feel I'm more informed a little bit because of so I'm slightly optimistic. But again, as I said, I'm a worrier, so I tend to worry, and you know.
You know what you wrote in the book, and one of the things that's really interesting about the book is that as we were talking, you're not you don't hold back from saying that you were afraid, and actually you've spoken about how it's normal to be afraid.
Yeah.
You've written in the book, you said this fear of being that what cancer was, that diagnosis was, it gave you this fear of being abandoned by life itself.
Yeah.
So you're actually saying that it's okay to be afraid, and one has to still work with that. Is that what you're saying through the book and now?
Absolutely. I think we all are going to be filled with anxiety. We will have fear, and which is part of this whole thing is. But we, despite of that, we have to do the right thing continuously, be diligent, and continuously do the right thing, and eventually this phase will be over. But I also feel that whatever values, whatever insight we get during this phase, we should really keep that closer to ourselves.
Right.
And because we suddenly will. I feel there's going to be a transformational change in people's lives after this experience.
Right.
Because nobody has faced this kind of situation.
True.
For all of us, it's so new, it's so bizarre, it's so frightening.
Yeah.
But I feel during this time one will also get to have a clearer, different perspective.
Right. When we were texting each other, you said you were giving me a schedule of your day while we were trying to fit this in, and you said evenings is for Netflix and for watching stuff. So what have you been watching? Tell us what you've been watching that you've enjoyed. Some recommendations that you want to give, because everyone's at home, everyone's looking for a good show or a good film. What are you recommending?
Basically, not the evening, Rajiv. It's from 12 to 6 is what I'd give to internet and
Right.
Yeah.
So the whole day, really, yeah.
It's almost like 6 hours.
Right. So, what have you watched? What are you recommending?
See, I watched Ozark.
Yeah.
The guy who directed. I forgot who got the Oscars.
This year?
Yeah, this year. The best film.
Gosh. Best film was Parasite.
Parasite.
Bong Joon-ho. Yeah.
Bong Joon-ho's 2 films are on Netflix.
That's right. Snowpiercer and The Host.
Snowpiercer. There's so I saw both of them, and I highly recommend both of those.
Right.
And Okja, it's called Okja.
That's right. Okja is also on Netflix. You're right. Okja is also, yes. The one with the pig. The one with the pig. Yes.
Watch that and watch the Host.
Right.
And I didn't know the third one was there, so I'll watch the third one also.
Snowpiercer. Right.
And I finished watching Money Heist, which was great. I enjoyed that. Stranger Things a little bit. I enjoyed that as well. And what was coming out of India as well, I watched, like Ye Back Way, and I saw Guilty and stuff like that.
Okay, so you've really been binging, huh? You've really been at it.
Yes.
Now, what I want to talk to you about very quickly is the new film that actually you just made, which is just dropped on Netflix recently. This is Mosca.
Yeah.
This is a film in which you play this middle-aged Parsi woman.
Yeah.
Who's sort of unable to wrap her head around the fact that her son does not want to take over the family business, which is of course this Irani cafe, and he wants to become an actor. In fact, he wants to sell this cafe and kind of give up the legacy, and she's kind of against it. What I really enjoyed about this film was I thought it's a lovely cross-generational story, because I kind of, the way I look at it is that I feel like our generation, Manisha, we tend to be attached to things, we tend to be attached to memories and legacy in a way that the younger generation sometimes is not. They don't find value in that kind of attachment. What sort of attracted you to this film? Why was this something that you wanted to do, Mosca?
Basically, I think the first narration, when the team came to narrate me the script, I felt it was a sweet coming of age kind of.
It's very sweet, yeah.
And I had other project which was slightly more realistic and slightly more dramatic.
Right.
And so I thought this would be a lighter film. And also I've never played somebody who's eccentric and who's that kind of a energy kind of person. So I thought it'll be kind of a challenge for me to do that. that's so no me. It's not
Correct.
me at all.
Right,
You know,
right.
this kind of verbose character.
Yeah, she's constantly sort of at his throat, no? Yeah, yeah.
So I thought it'll be an interesting for me to play that.
You know, I love the bits where she completely sort of rejects the girl that he keeps bringing. I mean, he wants to introduce his girlfriend, and she's refusing him. When the girlfriend comes to the cafe and the guy serves tea, she says, "Chai kisne bola?"
I know.
But you know,
Yeah.
Manisha, lately, you know, you've been doing a couple of films in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
You did Sanju, of course, in which you played Nargis Dutt.
Yeah.
You did a film with your old friend Sanjay Dutt. You did Prasthanam last year. You did a lovely film called Dear Maya, in which actually I thought you had a really nice role. It was a very interesting film. And
Yeah.
of course, you did Lust Stories with Dibakar. I want to ask you, Manisha, are you enjoying this sort of this second phase of your acting? Are you enjoying acting in this part of your career, this second phase?
I'm loving it, Rajiv, and I'm doing good or bad. So how the film turns out, it's
Correct.
not in.
That's not in your control. Yeah, yeah.
But at least I feel I'm getting to choose mindfully the subject and the film,
Yeah.
and also I love the space in between,
Yeah.
because I feel there are times that I can focus on other things. So when I get into the set, I'm like 200% involved,
Right.
and I enjoy today's times. And I
Correct.
enjoy the company of creative and young people, and so I think today for me it's been great.
Right.
Fewer films, but I enjoy my time a lot.
It feels like you're enjoying the pace, that you can choose your pace. You know, you can choose. When you worked, of course, more actively, when you worked a lot more, you were kind of doing how many shifts, Manisha? Like 2, 3 in a day sometimes.
At least 3.
Wow. Sometimes Hyderabad, sometimes in the same days, Hyderabad, Mumbai. I visited you on the sets, and you were always overworked.
Always overworked, never took Sundays off. The Sunday
Right.
concept was never there.
Correct.
The holidays, summer vacation or winter, never there.
Right.
For years and years, just I knew that get up, take shower, go ready, and just go to the set.
Correct.
So it had actually, I had become slightly complacent and slightly bored and all that. So I'm
Right.
very mindful of not going to that space.
That way again. Right. Manisha, what else do you tend to do these days? Are you reading? I know that you during your treatment you used to read a lot. You've said in the book as well that books were your constant companion. Are you reading anything? Is music a big stress buster?
Yeah, I think music is a great stress buster. We listen morning, evening, afternoon, depending on the mood. Sometimes meditational music, or sometimes just piano, instrumental, and sometimes my mom says, "What is this music?" And then it's just a pop. It depends. And I in the evening, the night before sleeping, I read a book. I'm right now reading Hippie, Paulo Coelho's light book. And in the morning, I listen to audiobook, and certain thing I'm trying to pick up. I'm jotting down few things, so I don't know what shape it's gonna take.
Right.
But I'm utilizing.
Could there be another book in the making?
Could be.
Oh, lovely.
Could be.
How lovely.
Yeah.
How lovely.
So,
Manisha, finally, I want to ask you when the world normalizes, when this situation passes, what do you think you'd like to do first? What's the first thing you'd like to do when we go back to a normal world in a sense?
I think, if I'm allowed, I would want to just go and run on the beach, touch the water, just take a dip, or, I feel like going to the field sometimes, touching the grass and, all that. And not being able to do, and we are not able to hug each other. We're not able, that I really miss, because I would want to hug my friend. I want to see what they're doing, and I miss all that. I really miss. Social distancing is good, guys, but
but physical contact is also necessary.
So necessary. So necessary.
Well, Manisha, I'm looking forward to seeing you when all this is over in person, and hopefully by then we can shake hands, we can hug. It'll be nice to see you in person. without
Yes.
the internet, sort of playing the middleman in this. But thank you for constantly inspiring us. And please don't stop working, because we love seeing you on screen. So even if it's few projects, do the ones that call out to you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you, Manisha. Thank you.